Aix-en-Provence is so lovely that various French surveys have chosen it the most desirable city in which to live. You'll most likely begin your explorations of Aix on the main street, which is also the first street you'll come to. Probably it's the Cours Mirabeau, a broad street that was established back in 1651. Simply called the Cours, it's sometimes considered the most attractive boulevard in all of France. Lined with shops, outdoor cafés, and restaurants in all price ranges, along a wide sidewalk with magnificent plane trees towering overhead, and 3 fountains in the middle of the street. And at the top of the boulevard, there's the fountain of King Renee, designed in 1819, and it adorns a work of David Anger. Into the pedestrian zone, which is an idyllic urban landscape of pretty low-rise buildings 3 and 4 centuries old, crisscrossed by a maze of tranquil pedestrian lanes lined with shops and cafes. Then you will soon arrive at the prettiest of all squares in town, the Place de l'Hôtel de Ville, the City Hall Square. Another attractive square 2 blocks west is the Place des Cardours, whose pastel facades surround the large central plaza, creating a distinctly Provençal atmosphere, enhanced by a row of outdoor restaurants. You'll be tempted by the enormous variety of foods in all price ranges throughout Aix, from the simple takeout sandwiches to the highest quality haute cuisine. You can hardly walk a minute without seeing more food. This automobile-free zone is only about 1/2 mile across, so you can see most of it in a few hours, but it feels larger because the lanes are narrow and winding in a pleasant tangle. There's the wonderful fabrics of Provence with that special colors of the orange, the yellows, and the greens. This gift shop had a nice variety, including original oil paintings in somewhat of an impressionistic style. It reminds one a little bit of the greatest local artist, Paul Cézanne. And there is a museum of ancient history. The main pedestrian lane continues north, changing names now to Rue Gaston de Sapota, and leads to Aix's main church, the Catedral San Silvia. This ancient building is a mix of styles including Gothic, Romanesque, and Baroque, and also has a peaceful cloister, all of which close at midday for siesta, as do many of the shops. And it's an architectural patchwork that survived the centuries in keeping track of its stone of bygone eras.
Saint-Sauveur, the name of the church. And you have a Roman part, the first, and in the middle, a Gothic part. Mm-hmm. Roman is from 12th century, Gothic 13 and 14, and Barocco Roman, and in the middle Gothic, and afterwards Barocco, 17th century.
Thank you so much. In English, we call this cathedral Saint Savior, built according to legend on the site of a pagan temple. It was constantly revised and unites 3 naves of these different styles, the Romanesque, Gothic, and Baroque. And then just in front is the university. It's been a university here for many centuries, and you might see some students out front on a class break. Here we have a very typical street in the heart of town, Rue Bougon. And along the street, you've got an interesting mix of restaurants, there's some shops, there's a few offices, and then upstairs you've got apartments. Throughout this whole central historic district, you've got this kind of mixed use. It's very much a living neighborhood. The Passaggio was founded in 1846. It was part of the former convent of Carmelite, and this passage is the most direct and most popular connection between the Cours Mirabeau and the Place du Palais de Justice. We've come full circle back to the main boulevard, the Cours, And we noticed they're setting up already for the Christmas market. We're here in the month of November, and the markets are getting going already. It's always a major event in France to set up booths and have events around the Christmas season. Adds an exciting touch to the end of our visit to Aix-en-Provence. As we wind down our visit, we're walking back to the bus stop where we'll catch a bus that'll take us to the TGV train that will take us back to Avignon, our home base for this visit in Provence. Have a look at this brand new development. It's a shopping mall and a row of apartment buildings, shops on one side and homes on the other. The people of Aix really know how to live.